So I'm here with Rachel Pratt, who was one of the students at Derby College in 2020, and unfortunately because of the pandemic we couldn't build a garden at Gardeners World Live, but Rachel designed a fantastic garden called Metamorphosis, and she's here to tell us a little bit about the garden. So Rachel, tell us, what about the inspiration? What was why Metamorphosis?
Well, when we were approached by the MS Society at Derby College, the big thing that they wanted was this really inspirational garden that was going to be inclusive, that was going to mark the change of their development from the MS Society to the Neurological Centre.
That's right, the Lilian Prime MS Centre, that's right.
Yeah. So with that in mind, the whole idea of change was obviously prominent in what I was thinking, and when I was just searching the internet for inspiration on change, I came across this quote, and it was, "If nothing ever changed, there'd be no butterflies."
So here you can see the students are welding away, and that's a MIG welder, so it's quite straightforward. You just earth it and then you're welding.
So what we're doing is we're creating a gabion. So this is going to be a seat where we build it with stone and ferns, and then we're going to put maple wood cut on top. So the idea is to create a kind of a chrysalis, so it looks like a little caterpillar, kind of thing, and it's part of the Metamorphosis theme.
Jigs points now. I love problems.
To be fair, if you got the angle for that in there and want it to come in the same that way, all you do is you just flip your wood over so you're using the same angle that way.
Right, I need to build another station here, but where's the power?
I think that way.
That looks pretty good actually, doesn't it? I mean, to be fair, now this is an interesting technique, but it's working. It does the job, and it's all scribed, ready to cut that out, so that can go in the gabion and hold the maple wood together.
Degree cut on them, which I did with the rip saw, just set that to 45 degrees. And then the next stage is we've got two of these, so they're going to go across here, but they're going to be half lapped with the ones below them.
That's fine. So Ryan's just finishing off the top of the pergola. So here we go, and the level 2 students have been doing some painting. So Andy here is just sanding the edges. We've got some noise from the peacocks in the background, who are not happy about this sanding, but that's just taking off those edges and finishing it off, ready so we can put a little bit of linseed oil or something to bring up the colours in that sapele wood. So that looks great. We've got them putting some tiles on, and Leslie here, there's nothing coming out the nozzle. I mean, that never happens when you're cake decorating, Leslie, does it?
Definitely not.
Never going to make that cake. And
Just get your float like that, and get your hawk, put them together and just pull them together like that. Just put it on your hawk like that. Should start from the top normally, but and what you're going to do is just tilt it back, put this right on the board, tilt it back and just pull a bit off, separate them. To start off with, put your float like that, and then come up about 45 degrees and put it on like that, okay? So you're just sort of doing that. And we're just trying to get about a 5 mil layer on, okay? That's all we're doing, we're just trying to get it on. That's all we need to do. Now when you do the top, we'll just show you this bit. When you're coming down, I mean they've got a few bits in there which I might have to knock off. just take it from, if you're going to do the top, take that bit like that and come down like that, okay? If you're doing the side, left to right, take it on the left-hand side of your float and come that way. If you're going from the right, take it from the right-hand side of your float and go that way. Okay, but generally speaking, to start off with, we'll be just trying to get this layer on. And what we're going to do is lay a second coat into it, okay? And that's what we're going to do. We just got to get this on now in the next hour. All the inside. We've got to do 2 coats.
Content.
Okay. Content.
So here we got some of the level 2 students, and they are busy. Oh, actually, okay, so here we got James. He's just topping up on his Hawk. Luke has been breaking out that concrete so he can put the post for the door in, and then we got Kane and Ryan having a go at a bit of rendering, and then you can see that Liam is digging out a trench. This is going to be where the wall goes, the wooden posts in, and Andy is there rendering up the corner and just doing a bit of smoothing off. And we got Darren and Mark here doing a bit of rendering on this side, and I've just finished my bit of rendering over here. I've just got to smooth that up. And just get a decent finish on that. Then when it's gone off, we're going to wait about 5 hours. Then we can run the I-bar over it. So I just got to keep wetting it down a bit, like that. And we'll just keep working it round. So this is the scratcher, and we just go round and round, and it's just enough to take off a few mil. What you mustn't do is press hard, because you end up with really scratchy, like if I pressed hard you'd end up with lines in it, and it's just enough. But you have to catch this at the perfect time, and that is about 5 hours after you applied it. Or in today we've been a bit fortunate because the weather's been really good. When you get to the top you have to just sort of run it across, there's no other way, but it's okay. You can use it as a float if you want, up and down. That's another way of doing it. Generally speaking you go round and round, but you know, different ways, and it's just all about timing, and it can be see that little top bit is quite, I'm trying to get it with the triangle of the float just to catch a little bit, just to break it up. And we put this second coat on down here a little bit later, and I don't know how far I can go before it doesn't work. I think it's close. Just have to ease the pressure off, and I'm just hoping we can get it all without it making a mess of it at the bottom. But so far so good. Wayne here, missed him the first time, and he's that little bit will be seen, so that's really important that we get a bit of render on that at the top of that bed. So at the moment we're just sort of, as you can see, we've put the gabion in temporarily. We've just started laying the porcelain pavers. Very important when you're laying porcelain, you have a bucket of water, clean water it should be. It's got a bit dirty now, but with a sponge or something, you have to sponge off every time you lay one. Okay, and so you can see that that's following through, and we've got a line and that goes straight the way through. So you can see there that that's got to marry straight in to the tarmac the other side. So the girls have been having a go at doing a gabion, so they've been learning a little bit of dry stone walling, and you can see they're having to come up the sides. Here we go, we're just putting the stone on, and we've got some nice York stone, and we're going to have a little bit of quartzite as well. loaded up, and so we're just loading up and getting that ready. So today we put all the soil in, so we've got the soil in around, and so that's improved that. We're just getting the paving down today, so I've been just trying to get some of this porcelain paving down. Quite a lot of cutting, quite a lot of tricky cuts to do, which really slows you down, so you can only get so much. But now we've just got past that, so we can progress across the paved area. But then of course we've got to incorporate if nothing's ever changed, there'll be no butterflies, and we've got to cut those pavings, so there's still more cutting to do. But you know, we're getting there. As you can see, we've just got the soil there, that's ready, and we can lay some turf on that.
You've got to do a piece of camera.
I'll just so Daryl is here, and this is some of his work. Look at this, this is absolutely fabulous, absolutely fantastic. Just freestyle. I like it. Freestyle, it looks really good. Wow, that's going to be brilliant on the Metamorphosis garden at Gardeners Worldwide. We'll just go over to the other side and have a look at the work that he's done on the other side, on this side of the garden. And again, you can see this is Metamorphosis. It starts with a caterpillar, goes through to the chrysalis, and there it is, emerging into a beautiful butterfly. And this is Daryl, the street artist. He's done some fabulous work here today. That's the proboscis going round the stylet of the butterfly. So the gabion there, the York paving, supplied by CD, looks great. Look at that, looks beautiful with that sapele wood on top. So we're very grateful to CD for sponsoring that particular part of the garden. And in fact, the cobbles are also from CD as well.